Hi everyone, I hope you're all enjoying your wonderful weekend. It is a beautiful hot day here in California, so I thought I'd come outside and visit with all of you for just a few minutes. I wanted to discuss the ketogenic lifestyle and balance and what that means to me and my home. For balance, Philip and I truly do cook the majority of all of our meals, and we prepare those that we do not cook. For instance, anytime we have grab and go breakfasts or grab and go lunches, those are items that we don't particularly have to cook, but we do have to put them together. So what I mean by that is to balance out our week and be time sensitive. When we do have to go to the office or out to a job site, we will get enough sandwich meats in the refrigerator. We always have those available. Sandwich meats, we have string cheese, avocado, we have bacon that's pre-baked, we have hard-boiled eggs, and we also make shaffles. Shaffles is a new incredible idea. I'm not certain how many of you have not tried them yet, but if you haven't, you really must. Go to Pinterest and type in the search engine shaffles, Chaffle, and tons of stuff will come up for the ketogenic lifestyle. It's basically a way for you to have bread on the keto lifestyle. I love a certain recipe. Excuse me, I'm getting bit by something. I love the keto recipes that we have in my group. I have them posted in Pinterest under Team Empowered Keto. So if you'd like, look me up on Pinterest under Team Empowered Keto, all one word, and you will find tons of keto lifestyle recipes there for you. So these shaffles are a great idea, especially for my husband who works in construction. He'll just pick up a few sandwich meats at the end of the week, and then he'll have them available for the next week. I always try to make shaffles in batches. Depending on the recipe, you can double the recipe and make 4 buns. For one recipe, you could make 8, 12, etc. So we always try to do 12. I do them during the weekend, and then we just simply put them in a sandwich bag so that we will be able to grab and go during the week. Another way that we balance is making sure that we know what's in our refrigerator and in the freezer at all times. If we know that we're headed somewhere over the weekend and we're not going to be able to cook, then we do these grab and goes then also. Like yesterday, we had a full day down the hill, and we decided to not worry about food because we weren't even hungry, so we literally intermittent fast throughout the day. We didn't have our first meal of the day yesterday, which was a Saturday, until about 8:30 p.m. And what did I have? I had a piece of leftover chicken and a slice of cheese, and I can't even remember what else, but it wasn't too big. Oh, a Carb Master yogurt. And then Philip had his leftovers from the day before as well. So while you're living a ketogenic lifestyle, you will notice that once you have detoxed your body from all of the carbs and the sugars and the grains that you were so accustomed to, your body and your appetite change tremendously. We notice that we aren't as hungry as we used to. I, in fact, used to be a 3-meal person. So if I didn't have my 3 meals and my 3 cups of coffee a day, I was a monster. That is not the case anymore, I hope. For myself, I can go with a bullet coffee in the morning. A bullet coffee is consisted of, for me, a tablespoon of real butter, a tablespoon of MCT oil, and I use my coffee frother, mix that up, and that will be my 2-ingredient coffee. It'll last me throughout the morning, and I will be satiated. I will not be hungry. My first meal of the day is lunchtime typically, and that could be anywhere from 11 to 11:30. I get an hour, so I usually jump over to the house for lunch. I work very close to home, so I come home, and that also helps me to stay on budget. It helps me to stay on track by not eating out and being prepared. So I come in the house, I'll be able to grab some of those hard-boiled eggs like I mentioned. A serving for me is 2 hard-boiled eggs, an ounce of cheese, and 2 pieces of bacon. So I'll eat that. So it'll be basically breakfast for lunch. That satiates me again. I go back to work, and then by the time I get home at 5:15, we then start our dinner. And the way that we do it here in our home, it's just the 2 of us, we cook together, and that's so awesome because my husband loves to grill. So he'll be outdoors on the grill making whatever proteins we're eating, and then I'll make the side dish. Sometimes we don't do that big of a side dish. We'll just throw together a tossed green salad, depending on our hunger, but we always try to throw in a vegetable, unless of course we're not hungry and we just choose the protein alone, and that's called carnivore keto. It's a form of keto. It's actually very good for you. It's very ancestral. So typically in our home, we are balanced by not buying the junk food. We don't buy the chips, the Cheez-Its, the breads, the sodas like we used to. All of those things are no longer on our grocery list. They're no longer on our minds. Those foods have no satisfaction for us any longer. In fact, if there is an occasion where we decide, hey, let's have a Subway sandwich today, we're on the go, and we ask for the bread. I did this a few months ago. I asked for the bread. I thought, well, it's a 6-cent sandwich. It's not going to do me that much harm. I ate it. I felt fine. But immediately, like literally minutes after I ate it, I felt that carb coma. The sluggishness, the tiredness, and I had no time for it. I was supposed to be on the go. This was not going to work for me. So for myself, I just, when I do have something that's off plan, I kind of take note, mental note of how it makes my body feel, how it reacts to me, and then I choose not to do it the next time, because more times than not, it is not a good idea. I'm pretty much fat adapted, where I've been on the keto lifestyle for more than a year and a half. So I know my body. I know how it triggers me. So I won't eat a sandwich with real bread. I'll either eat a bunless sandwich. One of the restaurants that we have in our area, it's called Jimmy John's. It's a sandwich place, and they make the best unwich. That's their sandwich names. So it's whatever sandwich, and then you make it an unwich, and they just wrap it in lettuce, and it's absolutely fabulous. It's one of my favorite things. I could get that on the go now, because now I have that mental note that that's what I should be eating. So again, just take mental notes, know your foods, know how it relaxes to your body, and just make healthy choices. Another way that we balance is by always having our food available. We don't ever like to be in the market and hungry. So we make our grocery list. We truly stick to it. I'm a list person, so I'm one of those nerdy people who will make a list of sections in the grocer. So I know that when I walk into the grocery store, the first aisles that I'm going to head into are produce. So my list consists of all the produce that we're missing. I typically try to do frozen vegetables for the majority of our meals. They're frozen vegetables. And I find that that works best for us because we don't always eat the vegetables in a timely manner. So I don't want to be throwing them away and wasting money. So that's a way for us to save money, is to buy frozen. And typically we cook with different types of seasonings, different types of food theme choices. Like we'll do a Mexican, we could do Italian with whatever seasonings, and really change it up that way. So it's the same vegetables with different seasonings, and it changes everything about the meal. We do that a lot. We buy bulk meats, and the reason why we do that is because it's just the 2 of us, so we could buy a large family style pack of steaks, and then we pre-package them before we put them in the freezer, so that we don't have to waste a lot by taking out a whole package to defrost and then just use 2. We just pre-package them once we get home from the market, and everything is pre-done for us. So that's another great balance tip, is just make sure that you know what's in your freezer, you know what's in your refrigerator, and you use your foods wisely. It's very easy to eat until you're satiated when you're eating the correct foods. So another thing that we do is, if we make steak, my husband will always make me like a large steak, the same size he'd eat. I typically only eat half, and then I'll have half as a leftover, and then the next day I could go ahead and eat that either for lunch or grab it on the go to have it as a breakfast at my office. So we try not to waste food. We have incorporated the ketogenic lifestyle in everything that we do. So just like you would do prior to keto, and you'd go to barbecues or what have you, and maybe you bring a dish or you bring something, that's what we do. We bring things that we know that we can eat so that we never feel left out. For the majority of it, it's all just real food, real meats, it's vegetables, it's low glycemic fruits, so those are berries. So if I'm going to have a dessert, I go ahead and get some strawberries. A fourth of a cup of strawberries is all I need. Fourth of a cup of any kind of real berry. You can put heavy whipping cream that's been whipped in your food processor. You can do a sugar-free canned heavy cream. We have that available sometimes. You can do those things and still have great desserts. You can have flexibility in your lifestyle. It's all a choice, and we just always recommend choose wisely. Make sure that if you do want some kind of a dessert, choose a shaffle, do a sweet shaffle. Do something like a pound cake type shaffle. There's recipes everywhere for those things. You can find them, you can do them. They're simple, like 3-4 ingredient items that you could put together and make sure that you don't go off balance by grabbing for those sweets and those aisles of cakes and breads and things of those nature that you can easily grab onto when you're in the market and you're hungry. So be smart, make great choices, enjoy your lifestyle, share your lifestyle by your actions. So you don't always have to be telling people what you're eating or how you're eating. They will see the changes in you. They will notice it. Believe me, they will notice it just by the way that you are an example. So always be excited, always be positive, because you never know if someone is looking to you for help or looking to you for an example. And you don't want to be one of those people who is a diet-minded person who will say, oh, I'm on a diet, so I have to not eat bread, or oh, I'm on a diet, so I have to make sure I can't have a tortilla. Oh, I miss this, or oh, I miss that. Find the alternatives. Make Pinterest your best friend. I have the Pinterest, as I mentioned, several people. There's a lot of groups on Facebook that have low carb alternatives. I'm not saying they're all good suggestions, but certainly better than picking up the chips and cakes and sodas at the market. So live well, have a wonderful transition, and let me know in the comments if there's anything that I can do to help you. If you need some tips, something specific, let me know in the comments and we'll talk about it on our next video. Have a good day. God bless.